How did you first become involved in golf, and why did you join Glenelg?
Well, my father was a golfer, and I used to caddy for him at various places, North Adelaide, but here as well. But I first joined Whitford Golf Club in 1961 when I was, 13 or 14. That was a tin shed behind the service station on Tapley's Road. There were scrapes, boxthorn bushes, a number of open channels through the course and snakes. And then I joined Glenelg 2 years later when I was 15, in June '63.
What changes have you witnessed over your time here as a member?
Where do I start there? Some of the first things I remember about the course changing is the entrance roadway. The entrance roadway used to come off Warren Avenue, used to come off Tapley's Road at the bridge, drive straight down Warren Avenue, across the 5th, 6th, well the 8th fairway at the time, now it's the 7th. There were overhead power lines with the road, so there were 3 or 4 holes you had to hit over the road and through power lines. So, of course, when James Melrose sort of was built, the entrance road was changed, and so that was a major change. A lot of changes to the course, obviously. I remember that the handicap board when I was an impressionable youth was just a pin board in the foyer, and as your handicap, well, my handicap was sort of coming down. And I used to enjoy watching the pin sort of move, because now it's all online and whatever. The clubhouse was obviously very different in those days, and there's been 2 or 3 new versions of the clubhouse. And of course the course has changed. Some of the holes are substantially like they were 60 years ago, but some of them are very, very different.
Can you share any memorable moments or milestones that stand out over your 60 years?
It's more pleasant remembering the better times than the bad times, but I think the best score I've ever had here was 64. It was past 72 at the time. I was 8 under. I played with Greg Chappell, Terry Jenner and Gary Thompson, who were each other's best men at our weddings a long time ago. So that was a good day, and one day I played with my 3 sons who were junior members here some time ago. They've now moved to the Vines, but I birdied the last 5 holes to win the A-grade competition that day, playing with my 3 sons. I enjoyed that, and I've won some club championships. The last one I won as the captain, and I had a hole-in-one on the 34th hole in the final. That was pretty good.
How's the club evolved since you first joined?
It's always been a members club, very friendly. There's always been atmosphere here. Well, one of the big differences is the actual clubhouse itself. It used to be the stone brick, which you still see, but there used to be a billiard room, 2 full-size billiard tables not directly below us right now, which is now part of the locker room. And we used to play billiards sort of after hours a bit. And the course has obviously changed, but the TUI crafter changes have been, I think, fantastic in terms of bringing the course back from. It was probably a bit overgrown as time goes on, but they've culled a lot of the trees and bushes and whatever, and brought it back to more a green sort of environment, a lower water requirement, and back to the link style, how it used to be, which I don't really remember, of course, but Bob Toohey certainly remembers. But the pine, the fairways lined by pines, I think that is important, because we are, as we know, we're on Pine Hill, named for that reason because of the pine trees on the hill. But I think the course has evolved, and I think it's certainly greatly improved. Certainly its rating in across Australia has improved. So that's terrific.
Is there anybody specific that has played a significant role in shaping the golf club during your time?
Personally, when I first started Max Dale and Brian Ferris were, I would call, sort of my mentors. I was a junior, obviously, and they were a bit older, and they were Simpson Cup players, obviously, and I think they sort of looked after me a lot, so I owe a lot to them.
What advice would you give to new members who have just joined?
I think make the most of the facilities. I like to play with different players, different times, and I'd suggest that. People do prefer someone just playing with the same group, but I think it's nice that you can play the golf. Literally, a junior can play with a senior, and it's not a problem at all. So I'd recommend that they perhaps play at different times and with different people. We've got electronic timesheets these days, so you can almost pick who you play with. But make the most of the facilities, because we've got a fantastic golf course and a fantastic clubhouse and a great atmosphere. So enjoy your time at the Glenelg.
What are your hopes for the golf club's future?
I think keep doing what we're doing. I think we're kicking a lot of goals. The course is fantastic. The latest changes, a lot of them have been made necessary. Some of the changes, I think, I really like. Some of them I'm not quite so keen on, but it's a fresh look. Visitors are really raving about the course, and I think that's fantastic. But I think we've got to keep on doing what we're doing, placing the members first, understanding what is important to members, and doing what is right for the club.
Look, firstly, you've held a lot of positions at this club, and from player, being a mentor or captain, everything.
Yep. Yep.
What are you most proud of at your time here?
Well, early on, Bob McCluckie and I were in charge of the junior program, and I was, when my three sons came into the club, I was looking after the Macmillan Shield team, which is a handicap match play for juniors. And I remember a couple of them played against, say, Wade Ormsby at the time. Wade Ormsby's gone on to fantastic things in golf. But I, as a mentor to those juniors, I think that's the right space for me, because you have an impact on them, and you realise that the golf really is a game for life, and the opportunities it presents our young people, both on the course here, but in life in general, is fantastic. So I think I'm pretty happy with what I did there. And I was first on the committee, I guess, in the early 90s, and Kikuyu was the big issue at the time. I don't think we'll ever get rid of Kikuyu. It'll keep on popping up, but in my time as on the committee, and I was captain in 2001 and 2, the new course was obviously developed, and we went up in the rating across Australia, which was very good. So I was very proud to be part of that.
You spoke a lot about the junior program, and obviously the impact you've had on the junior program. Are you proud to see, obviously, Glenelg have such strong juniors at the moment? Are you proud to see their success at the moment, and are you looking forward to seeing them obviously grow up and become great adult golfers?
Yes, that really is. That is heartwarming, literally heartwarming to watch these juniors hit the ball for a start, because they hit the ball further than we used to hit the ball. But we've got fine young people, boys and girls in our club right now, and they're the sort of people you want to do things for, because they're good individuals, but and that they're they've got a life of golf ahead of them. No doubt, a lot of them have got aspirations of turning professional, and some of them will probably do that, and some of them will probably do all right. But we've got a terrific junior program, second to none, and I think in my time when I was playing Simpson Cup, like, the average age would have been, 35, whatever, and now it's less than 20. But it's just wonderful to play, wonderful to watch these kids play, and it's terrific for the club.
Look, the Whitford family name is obviously such a big involvement here at Glenelg, and it's so great to see everybody here and consistent involvement. What do you look forward to seeing in the future for the Whitford family here?
Well, I remember going back when Dad was a member here, obviously, and back in '61 when I was a member at the Westford Hoe, and I joined here in June '63, which is 60 years ago. Mum, Iris, she joined about the same time. My older brother Tony, and my younger brother Dennis and Kathy, we all joined roughly the same time. I think Tony was probably the year before me, and I remember Mum was the first of us to break 100 at Glenelg, which was a bit disappointing for us, but yeah. Anyway, but obviously there. And Richard was an engineer in Whyalla, our older brother. He didn't play here, but he had joined here when he came back to Adelaide, and he's not playing golf anymore. But Dennis and Tony's moved on, unfortunately. Passed away a couple of years ago, but he was a past captain of the club. But Dennis and Kathy still play here, and yeah, we're looking forward to continuing here for many more years to come. Not to be understated, but there's a fountain on the 5th tee that the women wouldn't see because, you know, it's a long way back, but it was named after my father, who was he was killed in a road accident in 1982. And then when Mum passed away in 2013, her name was added to the plaque. So that's not, and we're very proud to have that fountain at the back of the 5th tee, and I think that's where I like my ashes scattered when that happens.